At the moment, there are two kinds of things I really like in the gaming world, in the gaming sphere. I like the kind of games that you can really delve into and will last you a long time, whether that's because they're online and competitive, like say Team Fortress or Overwatch, or because they're procedurally generated and have really tight addictive gameplay, like The Binding of Isaac or Spelunky. And the other thing I like is really shit games. I love crappy creations. And something I'm becoming a real connoisseur of is visual novels that call themselves games, because they're almost always uniquely cruddy. And I've found that the best place to find them, the best place to get your hands on the worst of these things, is political game jams. And today, ladies and gents, right now, we're going to read one of these together. So sit back, relax, make yourself comfortable, because Daddy Harmful is going to read you a story. Warning! This game contains textual and visual depictions of excessive, graphic violence. Sounds like it's the game for me then. And it's rendered onto a deserving target, so I don't even need to feel guilty about the brutality I inflict on someone. If you have extreme aversion to depictions of blood, puncturing or slashing injuries, facial injury, or suffocation, please proceed with caution. I think we're all good. And please be sure you understand all of the above information before playing. Should the actions depicted in this game be taken as real-life advice? Absolutely not. This game is a cathartic experience intended to act essentially as a virtual punching bag for players to fictitiously take out their aggression on a simulated Nazi. You know how we're hearing about all those sex bots being developed? Do you think we'll have opposing ideology bots? We'll have people you disagree with turned into a bot you can just beat the shit out of? Real-world Nazis are unrepentant killers, and engaging them without backup, weapons, and a solid escape plan is never worthwhile. Wait, so the reason you don't do this in real life isn't because you don't just execute people when you see them on the street. It's because you won't pull it off right. The game is written by individuals with no martial arts training and insignificant experience in combat, and should never be treated as a guide. Is this game about real people? No, this is a work of fiction, and no character or location in this game is intended to represent any specific persons or places. We'll see about that. That said, it is very much a reflection of the reality for the United States circa 2017, and represents the kinds of people and places existing here. Is this game meant to provoke sympathy for the Nazi? No. No statement or work of media should ever, at any time, promote sympathy for Nazis. Nazis had a chance to deserve basic human decency, and they threw it away when they embraced a racist, fascist, genocidal worldview. They cannot be reasoned with, should never be trusted, and must unambiguously be dismantled and destroyed. It's a good thing people don't just throw around Nazi accusations then, isn't it? Are this game's developers affiliated with Antifa? No. It's just a project created for itch.io's Games vs. Nazis jam by some Nazi-hating developers. Right, we're ready to go. Welcome to Kickin' Nazis Ass Simulator 2017. It is mid-morning, February 13th, 2017. You have the day off work, and a heavy snowfall the night before coupled with record cold temperatures means few people are out and about. You're heavily bundled against the cold, sporting balaclava, scarf, and heavy jacket, though your hands are tucked deep in your pockets as you have misplaced your gloves. Your route to your favorite breakfast place takes you past a synagogue, and just as you're rounding the corner... Oh, fuck no. A pale, thin man... That's Richard Spencer. That's Richard Spencer. Look at this, I'll overlay this. It's not a good drawing of him, but that's definitely Richard Spencer. A pale, thin man, roughly your height, is in the process of spray painting a large swastika on the synagogue's wall. Your heart rate magnifies, and for a moment you have trouble catching your breath. The day is nearly silent, the street nearly devoid of life, and yet you've never felt less peaceful. The Nazi, however, seems as peaceful as can be. Yeah, those damn peaceful fascists. He's got a shit-eating grin on his face and appears unconcerned with being discovered. Somehow, this swastika-spraying cretin has gotten it into his head that he deserves to be out in public. He thinks it's nothing to keep polluting the air with his rancid lies and horrid symbols. He hasn't noticed you. It's time to teach him a lesson. You might not be able to fix your whole country in one brawl, but you can sure as hell stop this hideous hate-monger fuck from showing his face to anyone ever again. Will you punch, knee, or grab to get this party started? I think we're going to have to go with the Trump method here. You approach him quietly. He blithely continues his work, clearly expecting you to be just another pedestrian willing to look the other way. I reckon people would call the cops if some dude with a swastika armband was spraying a swastika on a synagogue. I don't think it would just be completely ignored. When he hears your footsteps stop close to him, his previous face is erased and replaced with another crudely drawn countenance. However, he jerks to alertness. You swat the spray paint can out of his hand before he can turn it on you. His arms fly up to protect his face, so you oblige him and grab his wrists instead. He tries to wrestle out of your grasp, but it's clear he has the weakest arms you've ever laid hands on. Doubtlessly, the only exercise they ever get is from writing genocide-advocating articles for other mouth-breathing Nazi shitheads. I'm left wondering if this person often finds themselves grabbing people's wrists. They seem to be an expert at judging them. You pull his arms tight across each other, quickly locking him down. For an instant, his gaze of complete terror meets yours. You're distracted, however, by an unsettling wetness on your fingertips. Looks like we took the Trump technique a bit too far there. It appears your fingernails are digging so tightly into his skin that you've started to draw blood. There's no sense biting him. You fear you'd never be able to wash the putrid Nazi taste out of your mouth. You'll need to get him into a better arrangement to continue giving him his just desserts. Will you pin him against the wall or throw him to the ground? Looks like it's hate fuck time, boys. Here we go. You yank him roughly from where he stands and shove him against the wall of the synagogue. It feels fitting to you that you would request the venerable old building's help in dealing with this scum. You shove your forearm into his throat and, with it, keep him pinned as he feebly tries to push you away. His already weak arms lose more and more of their vitality as he is further unable to draw a breath. You've already spent enough time here. You understand that this needs to end. It would be considerate to finish him off in such a way that leaves little blood on the already tarnished synagogue, but it could be just as important to demoralize all the other Nazi scum in the world when they discover what's happened to their cohort. Will you finish him quickly or make him suffer? As tempting as it is to take the Mortal Kombat route, we are going to make him suffer. We're going to go the Cannibal Corpse route. You reach for your pocket. It feels like a horrid nightmare to you that his kind feels safe enough to travel in public. But you know just what to do to change that. You pull your favorite pen out of your pocket and flick the cap off with your thumb. It's unfortunate that you'll have to give it up today, but this is a desperate situation and requires sacrifice. You're gonna help remind the Nazi scum of the way they should be living, hidden, in constant terror, knowing the hatred they'll incur from those around them if they ever show their true colors. This particular Nazi's true color, you've decided, will be red. He winces and shuts his eyes hard as he realizes what you're about to do, but no flesh could hold you back now. You stab the pen hard into his left eye, burying it halfway in. He howls, but your hold on his throat constricts the sound. You yank the pen out, then immediately drive it into his right eye. Again, you suppress his mewling, disgusting scream. Inky blood seeps into your sleeves. You regret letting this filth vandalize anything further today, but it'll be worth it when pictures of his hideous, mangled face circulate on every alt-right news outlet in the nation. You withdraw your pen once more and thrust it full force into the Nazi's neck. As soon as you register that the damage is done, you let the body drop to the ground. Advance, okay. Eventually, the roar of your fury dulls, and it occurs to you that you should probably get away from the scene while you still can. Absurd though it is, the trash you've just disposed of will have friends, family, and the ubiquitous, spineless, so-called proponents of justice willing to defend and avenge him, despite his having thrown away his humanity long ago. You're not at all interested in getting caught up in that, as long as even a single Nazi scumbag continues to walk unashamed on this planet. Your work is never done. So that was Kick a Nazi's Ass Simulator 2017, a sort of violent torture fantasy that the authors seem to only think you shouldn't do for real because you might not pull it off, because it might go wrong for you, and not because there's anything wrong with executing people where they stand. Brilliant. So, I hope you enjoyed our little story time today. And to all of you out there who've been labelled as or accused of being a Nazi, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the Antifa bite.